So how was your Valentine's Day?
It was fantastic. I had a great day.
Did you have a great day?
I had a great day. It was lovely. How about you? How was your Valentine's Day?
I worked.
That's not a great day.
Welcome back to Talking Story. Hey, I hope all of you had an amazing Valentine's Day. I hope you had an amazing weekend with that special person. The whole weekend that you had fun with and hung out with and appreciated each other. And this is it. This is the Weekly Reader. This is when we get together and we launch ourselves into the week. Hey, we've had some weird weekage around here.
Have we? I'm excited about this. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, stuff comes at you through the week, makes it a little bit tough. That's why we always slow down. We get together, we talk about what we've been reading, what we've been doing. We kind of hang out and just launch ourselves. We get a little bit of whatever caffeine. The doctor has prescribed this for me, so I'm gonna keep chugging on that because I care about my health.
Please do. Yeah, very good for you.
Yeah, my Dr. Pepper, who's on retainer here for the channel.
Good Lord.
Looks out on my health. So let's get right to it, man. I hope your week was filled with 5-star reads, everybody. How about you? I think I know the answer. What did you get read this week?
Would you like to guess my answer?
I'm going to guess Zippity-Doo.
I got a big fat goose egg for you, man. Man, I felt like such a jerk in the Janny stream, being the only one that was halfway done. I made no progress last week. Halfway.
Yeah.
And everyone says the second half is like,
oh, dude, the second half is where it's where it all happens.
And I got to none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, last week was very busy. A lot of stuff blew up, and didn't get it done like I planned.
You know what?
That's okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the week throws stuff at you, and that's okay.
It's okay.
Like sometimes that's what happens. That's what goes down.
I'm trying to be a little more zen about how much I can actually read.
I think that's the main thing. Like, you cannot beat yourself up for what you didn't read.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to appreciate and enjoy and take in what you can read. And some weeks that may be a big fat goose egg, and that's all right, man.
Absolutely. Regardless of whether I finished or read any more this week than I usually do, check out Janny Words' The Curse of the Mistwraith, and check out the discussion that we had just a few days ago on this channel under the live tab.
And we'll get to that.
Channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so lucky that she was able to be there and answer questions with us, and what a time. Like, please check out this series. It deserves so much attention.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get into that, and all the stuff that happened last week. We'll circle back around to that.
Absolutely.
Would you like to know what I finished? What I read?
I'm going to say it's not a big goose egg. I'm going to say you finished a lot of stuff.
I had a week too, honestly.
Really? Did you stumble behind? That's rare for you.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, I was just trying to make you feel good.
It didn't work.
I finished our Patreon book read for book club. Our very first book club is going to be on The Failures by Benjamin Lyer, and I was kind of struggling with this. I was kind of struggling with it. It was like, hey, this kind of feels like I think he has a background in video game design. And
okay.
I can see a lot of that in this. Like in a video game, when you're moving through an environment and you move into the big round, here's a boss battle. Because you can tell by the environment. It's a big hit circle. I'm going to get hit. Some of his descriptions and environments kind of evoke that in my mind as I'm reading. Some of the characters kind of feel like game pieces. I wasn't getting a lot of background. I wasn't getting a lot of backstory to them. I wasn't connecting to them. They kind of felt like... I kind of felt there's some very long-lived, almost immortal characters in this that kind of start the book off with kind of meeting in a group and kind of setting up, we're all going to come together and do something, and it's very rare because we're all very powerful, and we're going to have to set feuds aside. And it's like, I was really getting into this. These characters have agency and motivation and backstory with each other. And it's like, I really was digging it. And then we move to what's going on in the world. And they kind of just felt like not really fleshed out characters. I was just having a hard time getting into it. It's very non-linear. It kind of goes back and forth in time here and there and all over. He's using that as a dramatic device so he can drop plot points and choose just when he wants to. And my problem with that was sometimes character motivation for me would be, ooh, there's no way you're letting that character get away with that. You're going to push him for an answer. And over again through this, it would seem like, well, I can't tell you now. We got to keep moving. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. If it were me, you'd have to tell me now. And none of the characters ever stood up and did that for themselves. And I was fighting it. I was struggling with it. It wasn't pulling me in. And then the end comes.
Oh, okay.
This book lives or dies. Now, look, I still have those problems. I've got problems with it. But this book lives or dies by the end. The end kind of recontextualizes and pivots the whole thing and made it work for me. Definitely made it work for me. I went from, and again, still problems, but I went from problems to like, I'm not sure. Probably not going to pick up book 2, but I'm going to finish this. It's book club book, right? And I went from that to bring on book 2. I want to see where this author goes with the story. I want to see where this world goes. And now I want to see where these character goes, because the recontextualization that happens at the end with this ending, the last 75 to 50 pages turn everything and gave it a huge step up for me.
Wow, this is the second time in a row that this has happened to you with a Patreon book.
I was fighting Stoner for personal reasons.
Sure, different reasons.
It's just that kind of narrative, and it all hinges on the end. And I can't say more than that because, spoilers. And the things that weren't working for me, I can absolutely, like Patrick Leo said this was his favorite debut of 2024. A lot of people love this book, and I can absolutely understand why. He's got some amazing, sharp tools in his belt, Mr. Benjamin Lyer. There were just some things that the structure and how he was telling the story, I was struggling with. I was having some problems with, but the Jenga tower that he builds for the end to explode absolutely worked. And kind of recontextualize the whole thing for me. And I cannot wait to talk to everybody about it because I did have that at the end that brought it all together and made me go, yeah, totally. I would absolutely pick up book 2 now that I know what's really happening, and I get in on another artist's journey, because I do think he's got some great sharp tools in his belt or in his box here as an artist. And I just think he's only going to get better. He really, really is. And I can absolutely see why people would love this. I was having a struggle, but bang, by the end, bring on book 2. Can't wait to talk to everybody about it.
Well, regardless of how you felt about the ending, you might have some spicy takes in this book club call.
Oh, I definitely think so. Because there's a lot of people that voted for this that really love it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think I'll have some, which always makes it fun, always makes it fun. But every time you get together with friends and talk about a book, you end up loving that book a little bit more, because that's the fun of it. You see perspectives and you see different takes on it and you see how it impacted somebody else. And it's like, you're right. I could see how when you share that human experience of how story hits somebody, you can't help but not take it in a little bit. And that is, part of the magic of what we try to do right here each and every week. So I can't wait to talk to everybody about it. It's going to be a great, great book club coming up.
First book club. Very exciting.
Yeah. And you know what? A really good pick, because I think there's going to be some great discussion.
Oh, I think so too. Maybe some people will yell at you. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna count on that. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Your takes are that spicy?
No, probably. You know me. Probably not.
I know.
Probably not. But after that, it was time for our indie read of the month of February. And we had Small Town Problems by Chris Ritchie on tap. Little novella. And look, I was wrong about this too. I said, look at the cover. Look at this. Looks like a little bit of a sci-fi romp. looks like kind of like a little fun palate cleanser, kind of a little fun diversion between some big reads. And I'm not going to say it wasn't fun. I'm not going to say I didn't have a great time, but don't judge a book by a cover. Don't let this cover fool you. This little novella has an awful lot of heart. This is a very interesting little first contact story about guilt and grief and processing those things and moving on and loyalty and friendship and found family and the strength you can draw from that to move on. And there is a lot of human elements going on here. Just beautifully done. What I got was it's like, wow, this is like, I'm getting the feeling I got when I was young in a theater watching E.T. by Steven Spielberg for the first time. This is that kind of emotional heart of a book and a story that really can impact you. I mean, and the compression is great too. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It gets to it right away. And this has some truly heartfelt things to say about loss and guilt and grief and loyalty and friendship and sacrifice. Really, really a cool little novella. It goes way deeper than I was expecting.
Wow, man. Well done to Chris Ritchie. That makes me happy to hear.
Well done to Chris Ritchie. Absolutely no doubt.
If you want to pick it up, there will be a link below then.
We will put a link to this because, you know what? If you're looking for something that has a great emotional center, does have some fun moments to it, and is a first contact story that honestly is pretty different than a lot that I have read, because I think that small town feel gives it that difference, but has such an emotional core like Steven Spielberg was able to inject into E.T. This might be just what you're looking for, man. A great palate cleanser if that's what you are on the market for.
Wow,
definitely,
man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I might steal that from you.
Yeah, I would. You would like this.
I bet I would. From what you've described, that all sounds like my kind of jam.
Yeah, I really think you would dig it.
There's something down there. It's not the submarine we were looking for. It's something else. We're all sick. And we're hearing things. Bad things.
And then people have been waiting, and it's happened.
Oh, boy.
It was time to pick up Malazan. I don't know. I'm probably going to be wrong half the time. Book of the Fallen, Book 1, Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson.
How you doing? Have you pulled out your protractor yet? Do you have a ruler?
Let me tell you something. I had videos for every chapter on tap and ready to go.
Oh, wow.
I had notes and things like that people have sent me and everything like that. And you know what? I've looked at none of it.
Because you don't feel like you need it?
Because I don't want to slow down. Not only does this have the feeling of this is going to make my all-time list. Look, I'm just over 100 pages in, but this has the feeling that if the series is what I'm getting here at the beginning of this journey, this could boot off my number one.
What?
I'm here's what I'm getting from the beginning of this.
Oh, wait. What is your number one currently?
Song of Ice and Fire.
This could boot off Song of Ice and Fire for you.
This has so much of the same magic for me as the Song of Ice and Fire. Let me tell you what Steven Erikson is throwing down and what he's able to do. And again, I'm just 100 pages in. Everything, and it's when you always talk about your favorite fantasies, it's everything has such depth and texture and gravitas because it has existed and lived in this world. So when people are saying, "Oh my God, there's so much coming at you," you're gonna need a spreadsheet and everything to. That is because this world is so realized and so lived in, and every character we meet has relationships that go long before and long after this window of time we're getting in this book. We're getting into a window of time of this world after a coup has happened and a young boy has stood on the ramparts watching the city fall as his merchant father does some business inside, and the emperor is being deposed by this lady, and he's watching this happen, and he's talking to a soldier down there, and he dreams of being a soldier himself, and the soldier down there says, "Aim higher, kiddo. Like this is no one's bag, baby." And you go from there to just some of the creation of an assassin hidden in plain sight that is being played by gods like a piece on a game board. The most amazing fight between armies of wizards and a floating city with this master wizard on it. Everything is just mind-bendingly epic and large and huge, and everything has consequence. Everyone that meets, and you meet a lot of people. You meet some of the soldiers on the ground, some of the wizards throwing the magic, this assassin that's being hidden, some of the gods that are putting these pieces into play. This young boy that was on the ramparts kind of comes back around again. All of these things are kind of just these moments in time that are kind of thrown at you in almost like a Pulp Fiction-esque way. And you kind of have to piece them together, but it's not hard to piece them together because everything has such context and content and history and motivation and realization of characters and relationships vastly further into the past and easily you can see it going into the future than this window of time that we're getting right now. And it is wheels within wheels within wheels, the machinations of what's going on and how you're putting this all together. And they're mentioning coups and wars and things that have happened years in the past because this is, again, so fully and completely realized, and the people in it are fully and completely real with motivations that make sense. You understand where their anger and ire and betrayal have come from and why they would strive to do this. A little bit harder is quite understanding why the gods are moving pieces, as it should be, because they're not people. They are a step above and beyond, and just because they come down to this terrestrial plane and treat it like a game board, you may not understand all of their rationale and reasonings for what they're doing, but it's still so addictively readable. You cannot stop once you get going. And the prose is just delightful. It has so much grit. It is so unflinching. It is so rooted in reality, even though these things that are happening are completely overblown and grand and operatic and sweep. The prose will just ground you and allow you to see everything. It is like watching the coolest, epic event that has no budget restrictions. It is just, I'm telling you, everything you want from an epic fantasy, that is what I'm getting in this first 100 pages. And this is like just the very first baby step of a series. And I can just imagine where this is, the feelings this is giving me now and where it can possibly go. And the imagination of Steven Erikson that I'm already just in awe of. I'm telling you, because this is a series that is entirely finished. That last book has come out. That just completely, like the critics and booktubers that I really respect, completely floored and wowed them. So if I'm getting all this from the first 100 plus pages, like at the end of this series, where is it going to stand for me? That's why I think you get that charge and that feeling when you take that first step on something that could, wow, you come after the king, you better not miss. This might not miss. This might take out my king. This might take out my number one. That's kind of the charge I'm getting right now.
I thought you're either going to really like it or you're going to bounce off of it because there's, too many POVs or all the other critiques that other people have said before. I was never expecting this outcome.
This wasn't on your bingo card?
No. For this to be your new number one of all time, potentially?
Potentially. Dude, let me tell you, this is...
How far in are you? Have you said?
Look, I am going slower.
Right.
My goal with this is somewhere between 60, 70 pages a day. So I'll wrap it up and, but probably by the time we're back here next week for Weekly Reader, I'll be done.
Now, when you say 60 to 70 pages a day, are you saying that, like, you're reading at the same speed, just fewer pages a day, or you're reading things over again and really paying attention?
I've not found myself reading anything over again. Okay. Unless it's a passage that just makes me go, oh man, that's pretty. And I want to read it over again. And that has happened. I'm just taking more time with it because it is Shakespearean in that way. In the beginning, this boy on the ramparts and these two soldiers talking, and it's like, oh my gosh, this really takes me back to the opening of Hamlet, where Hamlet's on the ramparts and the two soldiers are talking about the ghosts that they've seen. It's that kind of feel. And there is import and a history and a person in every spear character, every spear carrier, right? Like you get your characters, like you've got your main characters that you're kind of Tattersail and Whiskey Jack and, all these kind of people that you're really starting to follow. And sorry, oh my God, I got to find out more about her. All this kind of stuff. You've got your main characters that you're becoming all in on. But even the people they're talking to or playing cards with or just walking by and having a quick conversation, that conversation and that person has import. So I'm really going a bit slower and trying to listen harder as I read. Every conversation and every character you meet feels like they are real and have weight, and the interaction has import to some of these pieces that you're trying to put together on this timeline in this world of what's going on. And I'm telling you, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
You're going to make a lot of people happy.
Or some people might be very surprised like you were. I don't know. But yeah, no, this is, wow. I'm so happy I ordered it in the broken bindings now. I was always a little bit like, oh man, I don't know. We'll see. But oh my gosh, I can't wait now. This is just, this is special in a lot of areas.
Wow.
A lot of areas.
I'm very interested to see how it goes for you when you wrap it up by the next Weekly Reader.
Yeah, so if I stick to like at least 60 to 70 pages a day, I should be right around page 120 by the time I go to bed tonight, because it's day 2. But immediately from the first scene of that young boy on the ramparts watching this coup happen and watching the poorest part of town just go down in flames, and as this emperor is being deposed, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is. I could tell right away. This is special for a reason. It really is.
Now I'm gonna have to pick it up.
You would. this would make you just smack yourself in the face. You would love it that much.
That I can tell how serious you are by a book by how much you start stuttering.
Yeah, I'm telling. Yeah, I'll hand this off to you when I get my broken binding ones in. You can have this one.
Sure, I'll read it in 5 years. I'll get to that one.
Just this is one of those. It's like give yourself 3 or 4 pages, and you'll go, "Oh yeah, I see it. I know exactly what he's talking about."
If it ends up taking your number 1 spot, I'm gonna have to read it. There's no way I can't figure that out.
Here's the thing. This is the best way I can put it.
Okay.
Me, you, and Mom, we've worked together. We've created together. We've written together, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those when you read this, you go, "Oh yeah, man. I wish I'd have done that."
The highest praise there is.
That rings the bell. That rings the bell right there. That's the feeling.
Man. All right. I'll pick it up as soon as I can.
Yeah. I'll pass this one off to you for sure.
Okay.
So, hey, you kind of brought it up a little bit. We are going to look at what we did last week. But first, we should probably thank some folks, right?
Absolutely.
We talked about our very first book club book. Let's go ahead and thank some folks and take a quick break here, and we'll see you right back on the other side. Just a quick break in the action to thank all of our correspondents, directors, and producers on Patreon. These people keep the lights on. They make decisions for us because we don't know what we're doing. We're not great at making the decisions around here. The decisions all the way from what I'm going to read next, what the book club of the month Patreon pick is going to be, but all the way up to video ideas and what we're going to do here on the channel coming up for you. If you're interested or you want to find out how you can be a part of this, right down there in the description box, click the Patreon link. It's got all the answers for you. And once again, thank you to all of these fine people that are helping us build the channel, our correspondents, directors, and producers. All right. Do you remember what we did last week? You already talked about one of them, so I know you remember one of them.
I don't remember
because that was special.
Oh, I do remember the other. I remember both.
Oh my gosh. Are you...
I remember both.
Okay. Hit me.
First off, of course, we did the weekly reader. Start off the week. Start off strong. Yeah. Monday morning. Then you had a book club with the missus.
Yes, I did.
Red Woodworm by Layla Martinez.
By Layla Martinez, yes. And we had a wonderful discussion. This was such a hit. Once a month, for those of you guys that don't know around here, my lovely missus picks a book for me to read once a month. It's a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit different for me, a little bit out of my comfort area. She's more of a literary reader, and we read that, and we cover it on Discord. Everyone, patrons and everyone can just join us for book club with the missus, hang out and talk about it, and then we have an episode right here on the channel of us talking about all the things that we loved about it, or maybe didn't love about it, or things like that. And that's one of the funnest things we tend to do here month in and month out. So yes, we did have book club with the missus. And then
we had a live stream discussion of Curse of the Mistwraith.
Yeah. So much fun.
So much fun. You had to tell me to, or someone in the comments really had to tell me to leave because I didn't want to leave.
You were halfway in and you started with us, and we kind of started we naturally, I think we had 30 or 40 minutes at least without spoilers, and then we started to get a little bit more into spoilers, so you had to duck out.
I did. Yeah.
And we did have some technical difficulties. A lovely, amazing Janie Wirtz was going to be on screen with us, but we had some problems. We couldn't get her on, but she was in chat answering everybody's questions and being her amazing, hyper-talented, vivacious self, typing like the wind and answering questions for all of us.
And I believe she will be on the next one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We're going to do everything we can.
Okay.
We're going to do everything. I bet she's got things to write and do, and I cannot.
Of course.
We cannot promise anything, but we'll make sure we do everything we can. When we read book 2, we're going to be going through the entire Wars of Light and Shadow series by Janie Wirtz. We're going to be reading book 2. We're doing one every other month because these are large books, and we want everyone to have time and space to read along with us and join us on Discord. And we're all over the place, aren't we?
We're Discord, on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Patreon, if you count that one.
Yeah, they're all right down there. Check them out. And read along with us. We're going to be doing book 2, Ships of Marrier. And we'll be talking about that.
Marrier.
We're going to read it in March. We're going to Marrier? I don't know. I don't know. I will ask Janny. I'll be wrong half the time on that one too.
Yep.
So we'll we're going to read it in March and we're going to talk about it in April. So jump on board with us. We're just on book 2, and what an amazing time that was, because it just that one blew our hair back. That one, that's going to be on my top list as well. One book in, and I can already tell that could be on my top list as well. And as many twists and turns as it take, well, I don't know. Where's it going to end up? Who knows? My list is being crashed this week. Unbelievable.
Really can't say it enough. If you have not given Janny Wirtz a shot, I know she has she is known to have some dense prose, but it really rewards you 10 times over. If you stick with it, invest yourself in the world and these characters, what she has done is really incredible. And you're missing out if you haven't read it.
And that wordsmithing, that prose work will lift you up from your everyday mundane reality that you're waking up and going through day in and day out. It will transport you to another place and remind you what it is to be human and battle with these bigger questions of identity and so many other beautiful themes that we all got from it that we talked about on that. Hey, check that chat out. The 30 or 40 minutes of that chat, you can kind of see if it might be something for you. Wow. I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
It's pretty easy to tell when they get into spoilers because I will not be there. So
because this one leaves. So what do we got coming up this week? I mean, after that kind of week, we could just take a vacation, right? We could just. I think
being able to talk to Janny Wirtz, I feel like we should retire. That's about the pinnacle of what we should be able to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's a high mark.
I don't know. You just told me like 30 minutes ago what we were doing next week, and I've already forgotten.
You're amazing. This is what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
Regular time slot on Wednesday, we'll drop a video, and that video is going to be my TBR for March. Spoiler, you already know Ships of Marrier is on there. But what else do we have planned? What's going to be our book club pick? What's going to be our indie pick? We're going to have so many choices that we're going to go over. I try and go over it always a little bit early because if you guys want to join us and read along with us, this gives you plenty of time to plan that into your TBR and pick up a book if you need to or something like that. Find it in your library, however you do that. So we're going to have our TBR out there minus the Patreon pick, because it will be here, I think, a week from today, the last Monday of the month, as people are going to be voting through this week.
That is correct.
So we'll have everything but the Patreon pick on Wednesday when we unveil our TBR. And then it is one of the funnest things we do. We do a series here called Talking with Tubers, where we invite another booktuber on with us. We have a live stream. We hang out. We have a party. We flip. We try and roast each other back and forth sometimes, depending on who it is. And this time there's going to be some definite roasting going on, and everyone in the chat gets involved, and we have a big party. This time it is going. Look, I have put Talking with Tubers on the shelf. I have retired it until I could get my brother from the north on, because I had not had Brian Bell on Talking with Tubers, and he's quick to point that out every 5 minutes. He is quick to let me know I haven't had him on. So Brian Bell is going to be here Thursday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern for Talking with Tubers. We're going to hang out. We're going to have an amazing fun time, because my brother from the north always brings the party. And join us in chat, because it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun.
Sub to Brian. The guy works harder than anybody else on BookTube.
The guy just, wow.
Yeah. He's also ridiculously entertaining.
Yeah.
This live stream on Friday is going to be absolute
Thursday.
chaos. Oh, Thursday. My bad.
No. Yeah. Live stream is Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Usually our other video is Friday, but setting up schedules with Brian. So we'll be on Thursday.
Perfect.
And we'll get that out there in all of our announcement pages and everything like that, so you'll be able to know. And then, hey, we got a little extra. We got a little extra thing to announce.
I didn't know this. What's extra?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh, well, then I forgot it.
Okay. Friday, me, you, and your mother, Jacob, Amy, John, the JAJ and JAJ Minton,
of course I knew about this. Okay.
On the Beard of Darkness, talking about the book we wrote together, Discovery, that is soon to come out. And the Beard of Darkness wants to have us on and talk all about it. So Friday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, all three of us will be on the Beard of Darkness talking about this book we wrote together.
Man, now I feel mean that I didn't remember. Like, I've literally had this on my calendar for like 3 weeks. I've been looking forward to it, and I feel mean that I didn't remember.
And we get to hang out with the Beard, man. I know you have this on your calendar.
Of course I do. I love the Beard.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hang out with
everyone
him.
loves the Beard. So, yeah. Oh, it's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to hang out with, of course, you and Mom, and then the Beard, is just going to make it so much fun. So check that out. If you have any questions about how a mom and dad and son could write a book together, and no one's doing time, no one's been taken away, no one's there's no incarceration happening. After we work together writing a book, there's a lot of stories. But,
I was going to say, how could we write a book together without yelling at each other? We did.
There is some of that.
We did yell at each other a few times, but it worked out.
All in love. So yes, join us Friday on the Beard of Darkness's channel. We're going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about, how we worked together and put this book out together and got it out there. So that's the week we've got coming at you.
What a week!
Man, it's another big week.
I feel like every week coming up until this pre-sale or the book release or something, it's going to be a big week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. We might all have to take like a coma nap for a week after that or something.
Well, I know this stuff tires you out.
I am the oldest.
You're known to have very little energy.
People say that. What have you been watching? Did you get any story this week from the tube or something because you didn't have a chance to read? Did you take in some story? Did you watch anything this week?
Did. I've seen a couple things. One's pretty small. I'll get to that one in a second. But I'm caught up with Severance. I saw the new episode.
So am I.
It was not as big as the last episode, but not every episode in the season can be that grand.
It's like, dude. Okay. Oh my God, I love that show so much.
It's really incredible. If you're not watching it, you have to watch it.
If you have Apple TV Plus and you have not started watching Severance, I don't know what else to say. Like, what are you doing? You're right now. Turn this off. Turn this silliness off and go watch that show.
If we are a quarter as entertaining as that show is,
there's not a chance.
I'll die happy. There's no way. The other thing I watched is that I heard there was this miniseries, I think, like, I don't know a lot about this, so, give me some grace here. This miniseries on Amazon called Secret Level that was kind of like some video gamey style stuff, and there was an episode
I've seen some
on
of these. Yeah.
Warhammer 40K that I heard was incredible, and I know nothing about Warhammer 40K. Just decided to check it out, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, direction, style, pre-production planning, animation, like, it was a feat in every category. It was truly incredible.
I don't think I've watched that one. I think I've watched the first 3 or 4.
Dude,
I don't think I watched the 40.
It's worth it.
Maybe I need to just watch the 40K. I mean, all of them have been really like, oh gosh, that's pretty.
I'm
like,
sure.
All of them have been,
I want to go back and watch all of them now, but I heard this one specifically was amazing, so I decided to check it out.
I think this is the same team that does the animated thing, Love and Robots or something.
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe there was actually an animator involved that was kind of like the head of some smaller animators, or not smaller, but he was heading some animators who had done a series on YouTube called Astartes that was just on his own. It was really highly acclaimed, of like, this is what Warhammer is, this is what it should be. And now I think he's involved with some higher level production, so it's pretty cool to see.
Pretty neat. Wow, that's cool.
Check it out. It's really cool. Now I want to get
Living
into
the dream.
Warhammer, even though I know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've been recommended the books to start with if you can find them. They're hard to find.
Oh, are they really? Oh,
Yes. The ones that I've been told to start with are kind of hard to track down.
I'm sure there's like ebook stuff that I can find, or
Yeah, maybe we could figure it out somehow.
I'll work it out.
I'm caught up with Severance too. I watched this week's episode earlier today, and come on, put the fun back in Funeral. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And then I'm kind of watching this season of Mythic Quest. I've watched that again, Apple TV Plus, and it's about a video game company and the shenanigans that ensue inside that company. I think it's loosely based on the company that does Assassin's Creed,
Ubisoft.
Yeah, I think it's. I actually think they're one of the producers. I think it's something like that.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think so. Yeah.
How is it? Season 3.
The season 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. I enjoy it. It's a fun time.
Not as good as Severance.
Nothing right now is as good as Severance.
I agree, and I'm not watching anything else, so I have no level of comparison. But still.
that is in an entirely different category right now.
I agree.
That is it for us, man. I think I forgot to introduce you at the very beginning.
Wow, you did. Shame on you.
I'm just going to say now, hey, thanks so much for the best producer in BookTube for joining me for one more weekly reader.
Wow. Not accepted.
No, I'm sorry.
My name is Jacob.
Well, it's a late now.
Yeah. I don't talk too much. You can get by without knowing me.
No, everyone wants to know who's that man under that hat. Who's the man with that new microphone? You look like a real booktuber.
You know what? I have to have it so close to me because it's a lot quieter than my old microphone. So it looks more professional, but it's really a cheaper microphone.
it looks like we held a telethon to try and get you up to snuff to look like a real booktuber.
Did it work?
Yes, you're looking very much like a real book. Now if you just read something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't held up one book this entire video. So that's the next step for me, I think.
Dare to dream, man.
Set my bar high.
Dare to dream.
Read a book.
Don't read one, just hold one up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do have this here. Can we check it off the list now? If I just...
Yeah, there you go.
This is Curse of the Mistwraith. I'm 50% of the way through. Just as I was 7 days ago.
That counts. Hey, it counts. It counts. You took story in your life. You watched some Severance. You watched some super cool animation, Warhammer 40K. You took in some story, and that's what's important. What story did you take in this week? Hit us up in comments. Let us know. Did you have a 5-star read? Did you start something that might be telegraphing to you that this could maybe knock my number one off the top of the hill? Did you have that experience this week? What happened? Did you watch something amazing? Did you go see the new Captain America flick and it blew your hair back? Are you watching Severance? Are you caught up? How did you take up story this week? How did it get under your skin? How did it change you? How did it make the way you look at the world change a little bit? Hit us up in comments and let us know. That's the whole reason why we started this channel, was to talk back and forth with people that love books, love the kind of books that we love, want to talk story with us. We're going to answer every comment that comes in as soon as we possibly can, because that's why we're here. And while you're down there, that little thumbs up button, hit that for us. I know you don't even think about it most of the time, but it's such a great way to get more people involved and get us a little bit further reach. And the more people we can get, the more these ripples move outward and outward as we talk about story and what it means to us, the more we can change people's lives, the more we can bring a little bit of ray of sunshine and talk about what story can do for us all. That is just a punch of a button away with that thumbs up button. I know, seems goofy, but that's the way it works. And hey, maybe this is the first time you've stopped by, or you've been by maybe once or twice, but you haven't hit that subscription button yet. All these things, these read-alongs and these talks with Janie Wirtz and other authors that are coming up and all these other kind of things, hey, hang out with us and be a part of it. It's an amazing group. Once you get to know us in Discord and everywhere else, it is an amazing group that you want to be a part of. Hit that button and join us. And that is going to be it for us.
It is indeed. Quite a lot from this week.
Boy. They don't call you the best color man in the business for nothing.
That's what I'm here for. Just fill space.
Do you just sum that all up like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. You're Captain Concise from here on out. That's what I'm calling you.
That's not a nickname I wanted, but I'll take it.
That's what you got. That's me. My name is John Mitten. That is Captain Concise. And this has been Talking Story.